Welcome to the 42nd Annual Sun and Fun International Convention and Fly-In here at the Lakeland Linder Regional Airport. I'm Ben Coleman, one of your hosts here on the Florida Aviation Network. And this can be viewed at www.floridaaviationnetwork.com. And we are coming to you live here from the Florida Air Museum. Used to be called Florida Aviation, now Florida Air Museum, here on the campus of the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, here on the Sun and Fun campus at the Lakeland Regional Airport. So that's where we are, and we want to know why, if you're watching this, you're not here. So we need to get you here to this event, or spread it to your friends of how to share the information. We take very much pride in talking with the vendors, the sponsors, the supporters, the performers, and the shakers and the movers of aviation. And today we're proud to have one of those shakers, and this is actually Lieutenant Colonel Bob Raskey.
Ben, good to be here.
Bob, it's always usual, and Bob and I've got to admit, I'd like to play like I never met the man, but we go way back, and Bob has always been a staunch supporter of aviation, and there's nothing has changed. It's true, Boo. He is absolutely 100% committed to improving aviation from the safety standpoint to the actual need. By the year 2030, we need 523,000 pilots.
Globally, Ben, globally. So the
Bob,
demand is rise.
What are we doing?
We're here today promoting this fantastic future in aviation for all.
Okay, and Bob, your background, and we won't develop too much of that, but you're an aviation connoisseur. You're a captain for United Airlines, lieutenant colonel.
Retired.
And you are also on the board for AOPA
Aviation High School Steering Committee.
High School Steering Committee.
AOPA's new initiative to kind of spur aviation training and pathways at the high school level. Great initiative by Mark Baker, Katie Bribble, who's the Senior VP for Communications at AOPA. They came out the pike about 4 to 5 months ago with this great initiative to kind of enhance career pathways at the aviation high school level. So I, as well as very, very accomplished folks in aviation on the steering committee, helping them guide in that direction, offer our industry and mentoring input.
And I can't think of a better organization other than AOPA. AOPA, EAA, they have their own form of improvements to the industry. AOPA, they're very, very on the leading edge.
Yes.
And Mark Baker's doing a tremendous job.
Oh, he's a visionary. He's outstanding to work for, and when he's guiding AOPA into a direction that's going to take on the challenges of one thing that's near and dear to our hearts is more pilots, creating interest, because in the past few years, Ben, you know that pilot production's been down. Interest level has been a little off because of availability of jobs for the future. You know.
And jobs for the future is what you're going to be bringing up, and the high school is really, we need to have got the hook at least started in them as they were doing the fence hanging.
Yes.
But the high school levels, when they start to make the decision, what am I going to be doing in life? What am I going to be doing to support myself, my family? What kind of career? Are you going to be a fireman? Are you going to be a doctor? Well, there's a lot of folks that still say, I want to be a pilot. And it's always refreshing to come across those folks. And what path, you mentioned the word pathway, what paths do we tell the wannabes of how we're going to get them there?
So folks out there, for the future of aviation being bright as it is, if you have your sons and daughters in high school, say, no better time to pitch aviation as a rewarding career. The future's bright, the demand is bright, and as we see it throughout our country here, with the emergence of our industry airline carriers, regional carriers, there's going to be opportunity for not just pilots, Ben, but for pilots, mechanics, anybody associated with the aviation levels. So in the high schools, one of the biggest critical things when children are coming up to senior year is, what do I want to be? I would pitch, and Ben would agree, aviation. Pathways to aviation that exist at that level would be, if you're in high school, if you don't have a STEM program or some kind of aviation program, go look at some of the availability sources, like through EAA. EAA has programs for young aviators. AOPA has an aviator program. And so these programs through industry from AOPA and EAA have initiatives and things where your son and daughter basically gets free magazines and initial guidance to aviation. In the high school level, other things too that are available are Civil Air Patrol, Civil Air Patrol is a great opportunity for children to get experience in flying, search and rescue missions. Besides Civil Air Patrol, we have Junior Air Force, ROTC, if children are looking at our next gen future pathways in military. So those early looks in aviation start giving your next gen young aviators the guidance and leadership, excellence and professionalism, something to move forward on. So another good thing too is looking at when they get closer to senior year and graduating high school is an amazing opportunity out there, which is called the National Guard and the Air Force Reserve. I'm a Air Force National Guard. My daughter is in the Air Force National Guard. She's in KC-135 unit in Salt Lake City. And when she graduated high school, I said, daughter, you have an interest in aviation. Have you ever thought about the National Guard? She joined the National Guard. The good thing about the National Guard, it's a weekend kind of deal where you serve your country. But out of that, you get tuition benefits, educational benefits, and a monthly stipend that pays your way through college. You're getting college paid for, you're getting pay per weekend drill, and also potentially sets you up for a rewarding aviation career, albeit if you want to be a pilot, a maintainer, or something like that. So in the high school level, these things exist. When the biggest worries for our parents today is what? How much? Can I afford it? Because aviation rewarding is expensive. But the key is that there are opportunities out there for you to pay for it if you take advantage of it early. Like the things I pitched, for sure, the military and the Guard program. And taking advantage of all these industry opportunities. Sun and Fun, they have the Aviation Center of Excellence. They have a great aviation academy next door where they promote programs in summer camps and different opportunities to spur interest and opportunity. So important, I think, in today's day in aviation or any career is to get that interest going in high school. Because many children are graduating and going on to college without a clear defined path, and therefore they go through college a few years, and when they graduate, the marketplace is kind of harsh. But I can tell you in the aviation world, it's not harsh. The demand alone, you said 500,000 pilots globally. That's globally, so there's global demand. Airlines like such as myself at United, we're projected to need about 6,000 pilots over the next 10 years with our retirements. Look at Delta, FedEx, Southwest, all opportunities. So with these opportunities coming up there, time to prepare would be now in high school. Once you kind of get that high school path and you go into your colleges, selecting good colleges is a good path. In Florida, we have Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. We have Miami-Dade Aviation Program. Good programs for kids to get involved with there to look at those future paths of aviation. I'm a graduate of Embry-Riddle, great organization, worldwide campuses, and they create all these opportunities for everybody to go forward on. As well as when you're in the college, continuation of, say, National Guard Reserve, ROTC. So if you think you can't do it, you can.
You can do it, and Bob, one of the things that pops up that I've noticed when I've gone around to visit with some of the high schools and middle schools is the discipline. The folks that come over here to the Florida Aviation or Central Florida Aerospace Academy are disciplined kids.
Yes.
They've made the mark. They've got good school skills. They got good grades, and you know that and you can just tell by talking with some of the kids.
Oh yeah.
This kid's going to do something. They're going somewhere. Others that are just kind of floundering around, you wonder, what can we do to get their attention? Because they're going to need to do something.
Yes.
And they're either going to work at McDonald's, Burger King, or we're going to get them in aviation. And like I have always mentioned, in my career in aviation, it's been great because I have never worked a day in my life.
Yes, yes.
I've had some long days.
As you defined work. But as you mentioned, that leadership thing is so critical right now.
Yeah.
I mean, children today in today's very distractionary world, lots of intrusions going through high school, parents are working around the clock to make this happen. Leadership and professionalism starts faltering, but these programs here do provide those opportunities because you see a different kind of character being built. At the airline level, one of our biggest concerns for, like, say, the chief pilot of the airlines is instilling professionalism and leadership at the early levels so they come ready for the challenges.
Well, and that's another good mark about the military is it teaches you, well, it doesn't teach you, it drills into you discipline.
Sure.
I mean, you will be disciplined when you go through the military.
Sure. And
it's for a reason. There's standards that have to be maintained. And we want to teach these young folks, even, you didn't know Kevin on camera 3 over there you've been talking to. He's one of the students over at CFAA.
Yes.
And
as evidenced by his very disciplined stature at the camera here.
absolutely. You know? And volunteerism. All of these folks, Jennifer, Ashley, Kevin, they volunteer here to gain this knowledge. And I'm liking to think that they're going to have a foot up on anybody else.
Yes.
That just is on the outside looking in. You can be on the outside looking in, or you can be on the inside looking out. It's your choice. You can be sitting on the couch eating potato chips, or you can be walking around the airplane trying to figure out what kind of airplane is that. And surround yourself with people, like-minded people, and those that are successful.
Yes.
If you get to know this man, there's no way you're not going to be successful. And what we need to concentrate on is how to get more people out to the airport. I don't know if you heard the Angel Flight discussion today with Steve Perella, but they have
great
runs at the airport.
Yep.
Bring people out to the airport. Teach them how to proper etiquette around airplanes.
Yes.
AOPA, tell us a little bit more, Bob. And I know we could go on for hours about this. But
AOPA is an amazing organization. For one thing, if your children sign up, they have Flight Training Magazine for the high schoolers. They have an aviator program, which they basically give a free subscription to, which is kind of a good deal. But AOPA is really good at creating those mentoring possibilities here, because obviously they want more pilots in the system. More pilots, more planes, a healthier future for OR as far as economy and lifestyle. So AOPAs, with their initiative and visions, are to create those pathways. There's probably no better, how would you say, career field where we don't have mentors in aviation. We love to mentor. Pilots love to mentor. Instructors, teaching. Our award winners here today, their backgrounds with 7,000 hours plus in teaching. So I think AOPA is taking a real big understanding grasp that we want to get the next gen into the program, motivated because they see the opportunity. And obviously, as an organization that promotes aircraft owners and pilots, they want people to participate. So folks, really at the end of the day, as Ben was saying, today's world is an active role. And you got to take that active stance early, especially if you're mentoring your next gen, which I say maybe your children or anybody in here, is to get out there and start looking for these opportunities earlier. There are flying clubs, AOPA by the way, new initiatives, big flying club program spreading throughout the country where those will be available for children and people to kind of take advantage of. Flying clubs, gliders organizations, Civil Air Patrol, like you said, Angel Flight. There's a lot of opportunities where you can actually get involved and not doesn't have to cost. So by the time your next gen children are ready to go, they've already had the time and the experience, and you've saved a little bit on the financing. Let me tell you something. If you do it early, you will be rewarded later, because if you do it the right way, the money will be there to get you through.
Yeah, and honest, the money will be there to get you through, and a lot of times it's a leap of faith.
Yes.
And because you're looking at this enormous amount of cost in front of you. How am I ever going to repay that? And how am I going to make a living doing something that I'm actually going to have fun at? It can be done, but you've got to want it. You got to stick your nose out there. You got to dip your toe in the water, and you got to test the temperature. And again, I think what Bob, you have mentioned to us several different pathways, both from the education high school standpoint to the organizational standpoint, your alphabet groups. But if you are not a member of AOPA, AOPA would really appreciate your sponsorship to help them provide this to the folks.
Absolutely, absolutely. AOPA's got a great foundation, the AOPA Foundation, which I'm part of. And so when you go online, anybody, any charitable organizations or gift donations going to AOPA's foundation definitely goes back almost 99% of the time to creating those scholarship opportunities. So you can apply for scholarship opportunities and different opportunities, so that's a good thing. So foundation's a great source for AOPA to create the aviation high school initiatives and programs for the future.
Great. Well, Bob, as usual, it's always a pleasure to have you here on the
Likewise.
set. And we're going to be
my
following.
earliest mentor in aviation. I almost gave it up except for Ben.
I was there for you. I was there for you, Bob.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's always a pleasure here to bring you fine folks like Bob here to the Florida Aviation Network. And we're going to wind this one down and go ready for another compelling interview here on the set from the 42nd Sun and Fun International Convention flying. See you.